Welcome to the official Windows 8 channel, and today we are talking about the Windows 8 Firewall. Now, Windows 8, as most previous versions of Windows, comes with a firewall pre-installed. It's a pretty quiet firewall. It's a firewall that will most of the time do its own little rules depending on the software you install on your computer. From time to time it will ask you if you want to allow a new program or piece of software you installed, but most of the time these options are pretty much automatic. If you want to access your firewall and firewall settings, well, all you have to go is go into the upper or lower right of your screen. In the charms bar, click the search. If you have a touch screen, just swipe from right to left. In a search, click settings and then just start typing firewall, and there you'll get Windows Firewall just here at the top. Click on that and here you are into the Windows Firewall option or mode, and it's going to tell you if it's activated or not, or protected. So here it's telling you that your Windows Firewall state is on. It is block all connections to apps that are not on the list of allowed apps. The private network that I am on, which is my Wi-Fi network here, and the notification state is notify me when Windows Firewall blocks a new app. So for example, if there's an app or a program that's installed and that it's being blocked by the Windows Firewall, you will be notified of that change. On the left side, well, you can turn Windows Firewall on or off. Of course, it's not really a good idea, I would say, to turn it on or off, or especially turn it off. A firewall is meant to do a protection, a security feature of your computer. Unfortunately, lots of people, instead of just going around and trying to understand how to let an app go through, they'll just, turn off the firewall and that's it. That's a really bad way of actually doing security. And, people that do that tend to have higher levels of viruses and problems with security in their computers. It's very important to be careful about security. The best way, if you want to allow an app to go through, if the computer didn't ask you for that app, or maybe it did but you said no at first and then want to say yes, on the left side of this window you have the allow an app or feature through Windows Firewall. So you just click there and everything that's installed on your computer is in that list here, and you can see here all the apps and all the programs have this little check mark or not at the left. So by putting a check mark, you know that you can add to the features, and then you have on the right side to choose between private or public. What's the difference? Private is your own network at home. You're on your Wi-Fi, you're alone, you're the only one using your Wi-Fi. You are on the private network. So by putting a check mark on private next to an app in the list, means that when you're at home, that app always works. It always goes through without any problems. Now, public is when you're on a public network. So if you go into a internet cafe, or maybe you go to a mall or any restaurant that has Wi-Fi, that's a public network. And public networks are more dangerous because they have lots of people that use them. And actually public networks are dangerous because some people use them to take control or try to take control of other computers, or simply try to find personal info that they can use. So you have the choice of blocking that option, that software or that app when you're on a public network. When do you know if you should or not? Well, it depends on I would say, the high security priority of that app. Suppose you've installed an app for your local banking. Well, you can put it on the private network because it's in your home, but I would suggest not to put it on the public network because it's more dangerous. So that's kind of the way you have to work here, is try to understand, is the app that I'm giving access to something important? If it is, you should not put the public check mark. And so depending on the computer, some programs and some apps you'll want full access. Some programs will try to keep the access into your private little world on your home network. So just keep in mind that the private tab is for your home network and the public tab is for when you're anywhere else. I would suggest that, a public network is even your friend's network. You go over to a friend's house, want to use a computer on that network, well, I will let you just tell you that you should put public. You should always keep in mind that when you're not at home, everywhere you go, even a friend's house is a public network, because you'll never know. Your friend or family member might be a good guy, a good girl, yet you never know. Maybe his computer's infected with a virus, for example, and it's trying to steal stuff off the network. So keep in mind that when you're not at home, it's always dangerous, and I think you'll have as little problem as possible. So that's a little quick view of the Windows Firewall here, and you've got also what are the risks of allowing any app to communicate. You can click on that. It's a little information window that's going to show up. What does it mean and what all it means? And of course, there's the change settings that you can click if you change any check marks. So and if your apps or programs are not in that list, one thing you can do is actually first understand where it's located. For example, you've installed a program and you know that it's in the program files folder. Well, then you can click here, allow another app. And when you click allow another app, you will go into the list here, or you can browse at the bottom to select where you're going into the computer and click on that app. Now, one thing for sure about allowing another app when it's not on the list is you got to know what you're doing. That's very important. But if you know what you're doing, you got maybe a new game installed and it doesn't access the network because of this firewall, then you can click allow another app, browse to the folder where it's installed, click on the program itself, and you're gonna have that new app right there. Another feature you've got here, you've got little details here. Details tells you where the app that you just clicked is located, and gives you a little detail on what it could be. So that's another feature to learn a little more about what is the program or the app in the list. So that was a quick talk about the Windows 8 Firewall and the settings and how to add an app or to choose which apps go through or not. Windows 8 has a pretty good firewall. It does not have the best firewall in the world. It can be easily modified by any programs. For example, a virus in your computer can modify the Windows Firewall and you don't even know about it. And that's why I think the best firewall ever that you're going to have in your home is in your router. And your router's firewall is, I believe, much more effective in blocking whatever is happening on the web. So if you enjoyed these videos, click the subscribe button at the top of the screen. Maybe you've had that new Windows machine, Windows 8 machine. Want to learn more about it? Well, click the subscribe button. Lots of videos coming up. If you have any comments, questions, maybe a request of a video you'd like to see, a feature you'd like to see reviewed, let us know and we'll try to put it online. And hey, take a look at our other videos and you'll learn more and more on Windows 8. So hope you enjoy our channel. So thanks for watching and hope you come back to the official Windows 8 channel. Bye bye.